service, then I'd be supposed to put the gas in. Get out there before I rip your ears off the side of your head, Jim Bob said, without anger. God knows it wouldn't be hard. They're almost bigger than Dahlia's jugs. Larry Joe waited until Kevin stumbled out the door, tripped on a black air hose, recovered, and approached the white sedan with the telltale circle on the door. That boy is a walking disaster, he said. Him and Dahlia still playing doctor in the storeroom half their waking hours. I hope he don't put a bun in her warmer. The boy's a day late and $1 short, and he doesn't have the sense to zip his fly in a tornado. Dahlia's been trying to tutor him in the manly art of screwing, but I don't know if she's actually convinced him to stick it in her yet. Dahlia O'Neill, the girl under discussion, sauntered out of the storeroom, a half-eaten candy bar in one hand and a rolled magazine in the other. The dark blue tent draped over the 300 pounds of flesh was dusty and wrinkled, but her face was as serene as that of any Madonna who had recently submitted to Immaculate Conception. "How you doing, Mr. Lambertino?" she said in greeting as she went behind the counter. "Go check the soda pop supply," Jim Bob said. "Checked it this morning." She popped the last bit of chocolate into her mouth and daintily sucked her fingertips. Her bovine eyes remained on Larry Joe. "Check it again. There's lots of kids in on Friday afternoon," Jim Bob said, turning back to the door. "Now that's a car from the interagency motor pool. Sure ain't the governor, sure ain't the highway commissioner, or no tax man from the state revenue office. Just who do you reckon it might be?" Larry Joe shrugged. His bony shoulders hunched as though he were taking the shape of a long-range missile. He did not, however, look nearly as lethal. "I don't know why you're so all-fired interested in that car and that fella. He looks real ordinary to me, Jim Bob. He's probably some fool paper pusher from Little Rock." Before Jim Bob could offer his thoughts, Hobart, "Call me Ho," Middleton pulled up, his flashy black Cadillac shuddering as he slammed on the brakes, inches short of the leaded, regular full service. It took a few seconds for him to extricate his plump body from behind the steering wheel, managing during the process to leave his lush gray hair unscathed. He tugged at the crotch of his plaid trousers as he entered the quick-stop shop. "Hey, Ho," Jim Bob said. "You look more worn out than Dahlia's public access ramp. Want a beer?" Hobart flapped a newspaper under Jim Bob's nose. "Did you happen to have a chance to look at the Starly City paper this morning?" he demanded in a melodious voice that rippled with indignation. "On the front page, just under the story about the Miss Starly City beauty pageant." "A story about the beauty pageant?" Larry Joe said, leaning over Jim Bob's shoulder to take a look at the newspaper. "Joyce and I almost decided to go, but one of the boys upchucked on the middle of the living room carpet, and she had to stay home so she could clean it up. It like to never come out of the green shag. Is there a photo from the swimsuit competition?" Jim Bob made a noise in his throat. "Listen to this, Larry Joe. It says that the EPA office in Dallas has finally agreed to Starly City's application, and they're going to let them sign the construction contract with that firm up in Kansas City. They're sending a contract approval fella up today to finalize the deal, and they're hoping to break ground real quick." "Shit. You got it, or you're going to right soon." Jim Bob paused to read in silence, his lips quivering over the longer words. "It talks about the public meetings and the petitions and protests we sent, but it says that the EPA office has evaluated the so-called community input and environmental impact reports and decided to approve the application anyways. In a year or so, those chicken shits in Starly City will be dumping their suspended solids in Boone Creek. I'll have over 100 acres of frontage on a sewage ditch, and that old catfish will be belly up before I can catch him." Hobart took back the newspaper and tucked it under his arm. His face, somewhat mottled at best, turned a deeper